Hello again, everyone. Vince Shuta here for Shuta Multimedia. And with all due respect to Joan Rivers, can we talk? Those of you that know me personally know that I have a son, that he is also named Vincent, that he's universally known as Vinny, and that he's on the autistic spectrum. And by being on the autistic spectrum, I mean that he's not classically autistic, he doesn't have Asperger's, but he has traits which are, without question, considered things that you would associate with autism. He's a smart kid, he's doing really well, and one of the reasons that he is doing so very well is that we have been blessed with educators and experts that have come into our lives and really allowed him to progress at an amazing rate. And I know, I flogged the word amazing in these vlogs a lot. I really need to come up with something better, but in this case, I am truly amazed at how well things have gone over the years. Look back from where you started to where you are now, it's incredible. A quick story for you. When Vinny was about to start school, I asked his TSS what school should he go to. What school offered the best possible outcome for my son? What gave him the best opportunity to develop and get to where he needed to be? And the nature of that answer really didn't concern me. Whatever the best school was, that's where he was going to go. If that meant that I was going to have to get another job, whatever we needed to do to get the kid to the place where he needed to be, that's what was going to happen. The answer I got surprised me. I was told that the school district in which I was living had a cutting-edge program for autistic support, and that people were clamoring to get into it. And I had the inside track because I was living in that school district. Now my son is just about to finish 5th grade in Mid-Valley. And I've got to say, not only has the school lived up to those high expectations, it has far exceeded them. In every aspect, this school has been exactly what my son needed. The teachers, the assistants, they bring a level of professionalism, creativity, and intelligence to their job, which is simply beyond anything I thought was possible. The children there, I cannot get over my son's classmates because they're the most open-minded, kind, supportive, good kids I've ever seen. They're really incredible. And when I'm talking about his class, I don't just mean his autistic support class. I mean the 5th grade population at large is just fantastic. And my son is included into the class in ways which I could only dream of when all this was starting out. You know, before you've actually had the experience and you're wondering what this is going to be like for your kid. You know, there's a lot of things you don't know about. And everyone at Mid-Valley has just been spectacular over the years. And I cannot say enough about them, from the principal right on down through the student body. I'd love to end this video on that note and just let it be another feel-good kind of video from Shuta Multimedia. Unfortunately, there is something to deal with right now. Unfortunately, this amazing program is now facing budget cuts. And some of the people who have been working as support staff for the autistic spectrum unit are going to be cut. This is going to, of course, reduce the amount of critical one-on-one time that each of the staff members gets to spend with the students, and therefore threatens the effectiveness of the program. Now, I'm not a big government kind of guy. I'm not all about more and more and more government spending. On the flip side, when I'm trying to picture a whole bunch of elected officials in a room discussing where they can cut the fat, where they can cut the budgets that are required by the state or by the local municipality or by the federal government, and someone says, you know where we should start? Let's start with educational programs for special needs children. That'll work great, especially when you consider that we're talking about autism. This is something that affects 1 in 88 children. When you have a program that has been so successful, you shouldn't be trying to dismantle it. You should be trying to mimic it, to clone it, to give every school district the ability to have this sort of capability. And I don't see that happening. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, and I'm going to actually ask you to do something here, because you're already at a place of internet connectivity, because you can see me. I know you're there, you're at your computer, you're at your iPhone, you're at your iPad, you're doing something with an eye. And I'm going to place somewhere in the description of this video, either here, or down here, or up here, or around, I don't know, wherever your description happens to show up in the latest version of YouTube and or my website, I'm going to place a prefab letter, okay, or letters, depending on where this is going and how I end up writing everything, that you can simply cut and paste and send to the contact people that I'm also going to put here in the bottom of the description. For, at least for my area, you can get really inventive, and we'll put some links so you can look up who your representatives are and contact your representatives, either in state government, federal government, local government. And you know what? This isn't limited just to the Mid-Valley. Who is ever in range of my voice and photograph, whoever can see me here and who listens to this video, if you agree with me at all, even on some minor point, contact your people. Tell them, look, this is something that we need to approach. This is not something we can dust under the rug. This is something for our own futures that has to be taken care of now. The reality of the situation is that these children have special needs, not special wants, not special desires, special needs. These are things that have to be taken care of. And whether or not a child has autism or Down syndrome or any other sort of learning disability, we as a society should be taking care of their needs. And this isn't because of any sort of, do-gooder mentality or any sort of altruistic sense, or even in my own case, some sort of very personal selfish sense either. What we have to remember is that these children, 1% of our children in the case of autism, are our future. These are the people who are going to be driving the economy of the future. I think if you take any economist and take them aside and say, listen, 1% of the population is going to have difficulty functioning if we don't give them special education. What should we do? Would you say that's a good investment or not? That economist is going to tell you that you'd better have a policy of making sure that that 1.13% of the population gets what education they need so they can be functioning in society. Otherwise, society is going to have to carry that 1.13%, which works out to, if the population stays the same and the rate of autism doesn't increase, roughly 3.5 million people. And I'm certainly not suggesting that we should start triaging people and saying, okay, well, he has a shot at doing something. This one, not so much. Let's put this one on the side. No. A rising tide raises all boats. And our society will benefit from all children having the best chance to build a life for themselves down the road. No matter what that life may be, all of our children need the best chance they can have. And I can say, fine, I'll either work extra hours, or I'll work an extra job, or I can maybe make it work for my son if all this is cut and I need to bring in other things. But there are a great many people who what they get from the education system is all they're going to get. And those children deserve a chance. So, what you can do is go through the description. It's usually below the videos. That's kind of the standard. I'm sure you're inventive enough to find it if it's someplace else today. I don't know what they're doing. Please, I don't think I ask this very often, but please take 10 minutes, cut and paste, send a message to our elected officials that these are responsibilities which we cannot shirk. These are things which need to be taken care of, and they need to be taken care of in the proper way. I'm Vincent Shuta for Shuta Multimedia. Thank you very much, and have a great day. If you've got a smartphone, this is time to get smart.